Oh my gosh, you guys, anybody's feeling this jam right now? Oh yeah, you know I am. Getting started in just a minute. Bet you did not know. Free live concert today, starring me, Josh Howard. As usual, tons of technical problems to start off with. Totally okay. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make this work. Okay, I think we're actually good now. So let me turn down these jams. I know they're good, you guys, but we're gonna pause that for a moment. Hey everybody, it is Mr. Howard, and we are here today. Let me check my mic. Okay, good. We are here today to do some learning. Right? Absolutely. Okay, so if you haven't gotten, well, I mean, if you're watching this, you've already gotten here. So bit.ly/FPS EdTech is where you want to go. If you accidentally stumbled upon this for some other reason, you clicked it over here from Twitter or something like that, that's where you want to go. If you're there, you are going to be on this page. Oh yeah, that is going to be where we start. So especially for you Fulton Public Schools teachers, if you could go ahead and use that top link to sign in. That's just going to take you to a Google form so we know who is here today and who can receive credit for being part of this wonderful learning. And then I'll give you a second to do that, and then we'll get started. I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing while folks sign in. If just a couple of things to know while we're working today. If you have a question, the chat box, the YouTube chat box is the best way to get that to me. So, and I'll keep that scroll going across to the bottom so you know that if you would like to, if you have something that's be addressed, something that's confusing, or as I often do, I begin to go too fast, just type in there and say, hey, would you mind slowing down, you big, oh man, look, Jonathan Lee in the house. Gonna get some PD today on Spark. Yes, I am well accomplished, Jonathan, as you can see by my many fine degrees on this wall back here. So you know, in case you didn't know, I'm super smart and also accomplished and well degreed to boot. So this school district couldn't be luckier to have me working here. So you're welcome. For me blessing you with this incredible professional learning opportunity today. And this is just a great example. Anybody who's out there who would like to learn a little bit, that you don't even have to be a teacher in our school district. You can be some weird stranger from halfway across the world, and we will welcome you in. We'll welcome you right in. You want a sticker? I got stickers, man. You want to get a sticker? I'll send you a sticker. I got a good sticker. Be right back. I'll send you one of these super tight FPS EdTech stickers. How about that? Does that make you happy? Would you like that? Okay. So for those of you who did actually show up to learn something today, we are going to get started. And also remember, if you're watching this later on, so if you aren't able to catch the live, this will go into our live stream archive, and you can come back and check on those later. The only difference is at the end you'll have to submit a form so we know that you created something after watching this, and that's the secret to good PD, is making sure that everybody leaves the room having created something amazing. Okay, so today we're talking about Adobe Spark, and that is going to be this first link here. So if you want to join me by clicking on that, that will take you to the actual website where we will be doing our work today. So I'm going to leave that tab open, and I'm going to go back to our learning page here. I also have another tab we might want to have open. This is just a creative resources page that I use. I use this all the time. You've probably seen this before, Fulton teachers. I use this a lot. This is just going to be like royalty-free pictures, audio, and video that you can use for a variety of projects. So we'll keep that open in the background too if we need that for something. Let's move into our presentation at this time. So I'm going to click on the presentation link. Feel free to join me if you're watching. Or just watch the screen, because that's what I'm going to have up here for the next few minutes. Okay. So if you are unfamiliar with what Adobe Spark is, it is a creative tool suite that is maintained by Adobe, and they make stuff like Photoshop, a bunch of other advanced design and creativity tools that maybe you've seen or heard of before, but maybe you probably thought that's not something that I have a ton of use for. So what Spark does is it kind of, I don't want to say dumbs down, but it makes those same kind of creative tools accessible to a variety of people in a variety of ways. So for our purposes, that's going to be teachers in the classroom. Well, not just teachers though. Anybody who's part of our school district can use this for a variety of reasons, which we will talk about. But also students. So this is really awesome for projects that students can work on. Not only as we'll spend a lot of time doing video, but even if you just need to create simple graphics for social media, or if you want to make a simple web page, a newsletter, something like that, you have access to doing those sorts of things too. So let's go ahead and get started here. What is Adobe Spark? It's a cloud-based tool that allows you to turn the big ideas that you have inside your brain into cool visual projects, videos, websites, and simple social media type graphics or images. So this is a video that I stole from Adobe. We will watch this. This is just going to basically show you how one teacher has used this in her classroom.
My students this year are amazing. They love to learn. They are ready for anything.
Hopefully you can hear that. Let me turn it up a little bit.
I am always looking for new ways for them to be able to demonstrate their knowledge, new things for them to use. I love Adobe Spark because it keeps my students completely engaged. It's also intuitive, so it's not difficult for them to jump right in. It is endless what I can do with this. We can do it for history. We can even do it for science experiments and investigations. We decided to make a Spark video about what makes fourth grade awesome.
In fourth grade, we did shell art.
Probably the biggest reason they love it is because they can personalize it. There is a lot of choice involved. Every single person is totally unique. The voice, the pictures, the icons, the text. They also can choose a variety of themes for their video. It really gives them a feel of they're truly making a movie. It's so much more than just a paper. It's an entire experience that people can watch.
We loved The Lion King, and in the play, I was a hyena.
I love the fact that they can use their voices, bringing life to what they actually have written.
And in the play, I was a hyena.
It makes it so personal to them. They can use it at home, they can work on it no matter where they are. They can share with their family and their grandparents and their classmates. It's really nice to be able to give them a glimpse into what their children are doing during the day, what they're learning. I think what I love most about my job is when they know that they have learned something and that they own it and they're like, oh, I got it. It's me. I'm always trying to make learning fun and exciting and engaging. And when I'm using Adobe Spark, it's fun to learn it. It's fun to share what we've learned. It's fun.
It's fun. You guys, it's fun. How can you argue with that? It's fun. Haven't you all just been dying to make things fun in your classroom? Gina McDonald right here tell you it's fun. Okay, maybe I'm overdoing that a little bit, but the kind of is the idea is it's a little more engaging, it's a little more fun. It's a lot of the things that you're already probably doing in your classroom, only you are taking that and adding a new dimension to it, making it a little more creative, making it a little more visual, making it a little more fun, right? Okay, so let's talk about the different projects that you can do when you have Spark. And the reason I just want to say, I'll come back to this. I'll circle back to this later on. The reason I'm highlighting this is because our district earlier this school year created enterprise accounts for everybody in our district. So all that really means is with Adobe Spark, you have they're all free accounts, but you have like premium accounts that have access to other resources, more pictures, audio, stuff like that. and then with branding and things like that. And then you have your enterprise accounts where, and those are freely given to academic institutions such as ours. But what you're able to do with that is open that up to students, so it's COPPA compliant. We can have kids who are under 13 doing this. They can have their own accounts. They don't have to worry about their data being sold to corporations across the world who want to data mine them and turn them into walking advertisement money pits. So since we have those enterprise accounts, it kind of gives us a little more freedom and flexibility to feel like we're comfortable using these things. And since the tool is pretty cool with all those roadblocks taken out, you don't have to pay for it. Freely available, tons of resources already included. It's like a kind of a golden nugget of a web tool. So that's why we wanted to highlight this one this week. All right, so let's talk about the different things you can do with Adobe Spark. The first is a post. So if you're familiar with such small little independent apps such as Facebook or Instagram, they have like a certain kind of dimension that they use in their social media posts. And with Spark posts, you can basically make those same dimension posts, right? So the little square type pictures that you see on that small indie program called Instagram, you can make those kind of pictures that will fit the framing on that, right? Another thing that you can do is to create a page, a Spark page. This is just a simple web page that has doesn't really have interactive elements. It's just a way to visually either do a project report or to tell a story. So there might be images on there. There might be videos linked through there. A lot of mostly going to be text and things like that. So if you're thinking of like a way to kind of put a spin on doing a newsletter, or if you want kids to be able to do like a visual storytelling project, or if you're just looking for a different way to report, like maybe they've done research on like wildlife or animals or something, and they want to have pictures and text kind of packaged together, but you're tired of doing the same old slideshows or written reports, a Spark page would be like a good alternative to using that with your students. And then finally, and the thing that we will be spending the most time on here today is going to be the Spark video projects. And that's just a very simple slides-based video tool where you don't really have to be able to record anything. You can record stuff and put that on there. But really, since it's slides-based, all you have to do is edit what's going to happen on that slide. You can add audio. You can add things like narration. And then it will tie it all in a nice little bow for you. You don't really have to have any video editing skills whatsoever. So that is a nice way to offer a creative option for video projects where a lot of times we don't have the time or the patience to like train kids on how to use video editors. You could use something like Spark Video, and that way it'll save you a ton of time, but at the end you still get something really slick and nice to look at. So I put on the next slide a link to Adobe Spark's education gallery, and this is just some examples of stuff that you might see that other teachers have done before. So I just want to quickly show you some of these things so you can kind of get an impression of what these teachers have done, or these students have done would be a good example too. So like when I talk about a Spark post, this one right here, I'm going to open this up. These sometimes can take a little bit of time to load. Hopefully this one will pop up quickly. And of course, exactly the opposite is happening. This is taking forever. So we might try something else. Let's try a different post. Let's go over here to this one. Okay, so you'll see this is the kind of thing that you would see scrolling through your social media feeds on Facebook or Instagram. It's a concise little visual, it's a picture, it's got some text involved with it. You also have access to a Spark page. So I like this wolves one here. This is like some kid did a report on wolves, right? So if you just scroll down through this, you'll see we got wolves, we got the student who worked on it. Then you have these, basically these pots for content where they put like their research or whatever. So here's like what wolves look like. Then we got a nice picture of a wolf. Ooh, then we have this really slick background with wolves. We learn more about wolves as we continue to scroll down this page, so on and so forth, all the way down through there. So you'll see this is a lot like the kind of presentation projects you might already be doing in your classroom. So it just makes that easier, and it takes the technical know-how skill and reduces it down to just about the minimum. Last thing I want to show you is a video, a Spark video. There's a couple of them here. I like this one better. I don't super love either of these because they're not really made for instructional purposes. They're more like advertisement, but this is a drama department made an advertisement for their showing of Les Mis.
Dover Sherburne High School Drama Program proudly presents Les Mis, March 17th through 19th.
Thanks for coming, Jonathan. See you next time, bro.
Musical. A tale of bravery and moral redemption, abiding love, heartbreak, and revolutionary ideals. Buy your tickets today, online, or at Dover Deli, Dover Market, and
Okay, I'm actually going to back up out of this one, and I'm going to show you this one as well, because this one's more of like creative.
This is Kayla, Alexis,
Morgan.
Patrick, and this is
Panther Countdown.
Let's not forget about Alex.
And Brittany.
This is, as previously stated, your turn to count now.
Woo! Number 4.
Congratulate Christopher Hudson and Devontae Osley for winning first place in the PSA competition at the Alabama Scholastic Press Association Conference. And don't forget to congratulate Jesslyn Crawford. She was awarded the Legacy Environable Scholarship today at the state competition. Go Panthers!
Number 3. Our tickets are $30, but after the 25th,
Okay, I'm going to
they'll
stop
be
this one
$60.
too. I'm not going to make you learn all about how to get a ticket to the prom or whatever. But you get the idea here is that it's really simple to create short little scenes and kind of put those together as a comprehensive video project. So I'm going to close out of the examples there. And we're going to actually move back over into using it now. So I'm going to go back to our learning page from the EdTech website here. And I'm going to go, actually, what we'll do now is we'll start making some of this stuff. So I'm going to go to Adobe Spark, which is that tab we opened earlier here. And the trick about this, I'm actually going to log out and show you guys how to log in if you've never done this before. So it could be the first time you go to Adobe Spark, you see a page that looks kind of like this. And up here at the top, you have like log in or start now for free. You'll want to click log in. And then it's tempting to click over here to continue with Google because you're already logged in. Let's not do that. We will, that will not give us our enterprise account. So you want to click here where it says log in with school account. If you're a teacher or student, we have different accounts with different stuff tied to them. So we are going to sign in with enterprise ID. Well, I guess I do have to put my email address and stuff in. So I'm going to log in with that. And then once you put those credentials in, since your account's already been created, you're going to log in to enterprise, not personal, with the enterprise ID. Okay? And that's the trick. And your students will just do that the same way. They'll log in with the enterprise ID. Just make sure they go in, click, are you a student or teacher? There's a lot of reasons why we want to do that. One, it gives you access to a lot more stuff. But two, students need to log in with that ID so they have data protection. Essentially, if they log in with a personal account, it does not... technically, the Adobe Spark, for personal accounts, you can't be under 13. So then they will collect your data and they can use that for whatever it is in their terms of service, which we're not reading here today. And I doubt you will ever read. So just make sure you use the enterprise accounts. Okay, so once you're here and you're logged in, this will be your dashboard where your projects are. And if you've never done a project before, you probably won't have anything here. And you might even have some buttons down here to create different stuff. But we want to look up here at the top where we have this big plus button. We're going to click on that. And this is a bunch of different templates down here. We're actually going to start from scratch up here. You have graphic, web page, or video. So we're going to start with graphic because that's going to be like your posts. That'll be the simplest thing to do. Let's start from scratch and go to graphic. That's going to take us to a post where we can select basically templates for posts. So if I want to post something on Instagram, all right, I want to use that. I'm going to click the Instagram here. And this is a food one. I think you can actually go back and choose different ones, but I just clicked the first one that I saw. So it sets you up with basically this look. And the nice thing about that is all this stuff is interactive. So if you want to change the text, you can double click on that. You can move these pictures around. You can delete all that. You can delete any of this and start over. So let me just go back to... I'm going to clear these stuff out so we can take you back to what it would look like at the beginning. So once you're in the editor for a post, over here, you have your tools for designing. So here's design. You can add all sorts of colors, text, and what these designs do is they basically set you up with like a font type, a background color, and basically a palette of colors that you're going to use for that particular project. So I'll do this blue one here. I'm going to go into colors. You can select different basically palette styles, so if you like the way these colors look better, you can add that. You got your layouts here, so sometimes if you want to do like multiple pictures or outline different parts to those things, you can, and then you have some sliders where you can change things like that. So the thing that I would recommend if you want to do something like this is just to kind of get in here and start playing around with it, because you're going to learn way more from just starting a new post and putting that on there than you'll learn from me sitting here and showing you how to do it. But while we're here, let's add some elements to this this post. So I'm going to click Add up here, and I'm going to go to Photo. And the nice thing about having access to the enterprise accounts is that you can find free photos here. So if I want to make a Spark post about a puppy, here's a bunch of pictures of dogs I can use. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to put that picture as the background on my post here. I'm actually going to get rid of this there. Okay, now I'm going to click Add over here. I'm going to put some text on here. So cute. And from that style I used before, and with the palette that I've already selected, it's going to give me basically a font style and a color palette. And I can change this stuff too. So after you have your text here, you can change the sizes, you can change the letter spacing, line spacing, all that sort of stuff. You can experiment with it. Change the font if you want, so you have access to do all those sorts of things. You can add icons. Put a little dog icon over here. If you have a logo, you have like a branding logo you want to use, I don't use that, but you have access to that with an enterprise account. You can do that too, but you will have had to add a logo before that you want to use across all your different projects. Alright, so I'm not actually going to do logo today. We are going to, let's say we're finished, so I'm finished with this Spark project. I want to put it on my website, right? So I'm just going to click download and save this as an image. Start to download. That picture is now downloaded to my computer, my Chromebook, whatever. I can use it for whatever kind of project that I want to. Okay, let's move on and talk about, oops, it's going to show me my post that I just made. I'm going to go back to projects. Whoops, daisy. Didn't mean to open that. Alright, I'm going to click the plus up here at the top. This time we're going to do a page. So we're going to start from scratch to do a web page. And it'll take you to the page editor, right? So I want to make a page about boats. I love them. Okay? So there's your title. Now, every time you want to add something to this, well, let me talk about themes first, because I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to go click on themes up here, and you can periodically just change this, and it will just change basically the fonts and the colors and the way things look throughout your whole page. So I'm going to go with Therese. No, I didn't like that. I want to go back to Trek. That's the one I liked. Okay? So you can always go back and change your theme if you want to add something later. So this plus down here, I'm going to click the plus, and it asks me for a photo. So I'm going to click I'm going to find a free photo, and I'm just going to find a picture of a boat. Good looking boat right here. We'll do this one. Okay. So that's going to be like my main background for the first part of my page. I'm going to scroll down, and now that I have my background ready, I have all of these options down here below. I can add another photo. I can start typing up text that I want to put down here. I like boats. They are so awesome. Okay, and then right here I'm going to put a video, and you can just go to YouTube and bring a video in. So let's do this real quick. I'm over on YouTube on another tab in case you were wondering. Okay, so here doesn't really apply in the best way, but a video on how to make a paper boat. We'll put that on here. Okay. So here, I like boats, they're awesome. Then I got a video about making a paper boat. I can put a button here and say, send me in, or check out this cool page about boats. And then I'll have that go to boats.com. Put that over to the left, save. I got this cool button here now. And so you can see how easy it is to put this together. I'll do a photo grid this time, and I'm going to have a set of photos. So I'm going to click save. It's going to put all those pictures into my page. Right? So I'm going to go back to the top. I scroll down, you see all these different elements that are starting to come together very easily. You also have access to like split layout. That's where you could have a picture on this side and text on the other. Or something else, but I'm going to put text over here. Check out this cool boat, guys. Alright. Looks good. Looks good. Alright, so all this stuff, again, if you get in here and start playing with this, you'll be able to see all the things that you can do with it, but the flexibility is part of what makes it so great. So I'm going to click preview up here so we can see what my page is going to look like when somebody goes to check it out. Alright. So if you were to go to my Spark page, you would start here. You scroll down. You're going to see some text. You're going to see a video here that if you click play, it's going to open that up. I'm going to close it back out of that. Got a button here that's going to open up a new page to take you to boats.com. Very cool. And then I have a photo grid of a bunch of boats. And if you click on these, it does give you a larger version of them so you can look a little bit closer. Okay. Over here I had a side-by-side, so this would be good if you're doing a report on something. You could have a big picture of it over here, and then over here next to it you could have some text telling you about that picture, so on and so forth. So you get the idea. Once you're done with your page, there's a lot of ways that you can get this. You can present it directly from the editor. You can also publish and share the link, which is what I recommend. So you click publish. You got to give it a category. Education always works. It makes sure you have a name attributed to all that. You can actually share it if you want, or you can make it where it's private. It's totally up to you. And then click link, and that's going to give you a website link. If you copy that and paste it into your web browser, boom, here's my Spark page. So anybody that I want to, I can send them this, and I just made like the fastest website ever. It's very easy to make websites this way. Okay, so that is a Spark post and a Spark page. This would be a good time if anybody had a question, throw them at me while I get set up to do videos. I don't see any questions, so we will move on. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Spark front page here by clicking that little icon on the top left. And this time, I'm going to hit the plus button. I'm going to go to video. I'm going to go do a video. So again, you get templates. I never start with these, but you totally can. The problem is then you got to go in and change all the pictures up. You never find one that's just right. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to go to video. And the first time you open this up, it'll look familiar. It'll look like a lot of the editors you've used before for other slides-based programs. If you use something like Animoto or Magisto or even like Google Slides, all these things kind of look the same. But when you start, it says, what is your story going to be about? So if I want to do cats, then you have to pick a story. So this isn't going to give you like pictures and all that kind of stuff. It's just going to give you a set of slides that work. So you can pick one of these. I just always start from scratch because I feel like you don't know what I'm trying to do. Adobe, I know that you work really hard to try to know, but you can't know. So as soon as you go into the editor the first time, you'll have this video, which you could totally watch, and it would show you how this works. I'm going to not do that. So here's our editor. We have some slides down here at the bottom, and then you have a thing down here to add a new slide, but you always have a beginning slide, you'll have a credits slide, and then you'll have an outro that you can add later, so I'm not going to do that because that's where you put like your logo and stuff. So I'm going to click on our first slide, and you'll see over a couple of things. Over to the left, you have some basically slide templates, one where it's going to be like a full screen picture. Again, one where you'll split screen. You could have two things on at the same time. You could have a picture in the background and a caption, or a title and a text. So I think what I'm going to do here is just have title and a text for my first one. I'm going to click that, and you'll see these pluses come up here. So this is going to be for what's playing in the background. So up here, I'm going to click video, and I'm going to, well, I don't have any ready, but if I did, I could put like a video that would play in the background with text over it. For right now, I'll just do a still picture, but I'll show you how to put a video there in a minute. So my presentation is going to be about cats. So we'll just find a picture of a cat. Here's a kitty boy. There we go. And then here, this is going to be to add a piece of text, and this will be for a subtitle. Learn all about them. Okay. So we know that in this video, you're going to have cats, and you're going to learn all about them. So I'm going to add a new slide down here. Click the little plus, and it pops in a new slide at number 2. So this is where you'd want to decide, like, is this slide going to be about report content, or am I telling a story, or what? So it's set to full screen. I'm going to change this one to split screen. We're going to put a photo on this side. We'll use this cat. I'm going to slide this. There we go. I want to flip those around. Well, maybe I'll flip that back. I like the cat better on that side. I am going to hit this plus, and then I can put another photo here, but I think it makes more sense to put a little bit of text. This cat is an orange cat. What do you think of that? I know this is very enlightening. Okay. Let's make another slide. I'm just going to make a few more slides because I'd like to get a full video done here. We'll do a caption this time. So we're going to do a photo of this guy. And then a caption is just a smaller piece of text, right? Okay, this cat is super intense, and your caption will have a little background thing on it. This also, you have access to themes here. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go here. Up here at the top, you have theme. So you can change, like right now I have that blue color. I can change the colors of this theme, or I can change the theme entirely, which will change things like your font and the colors and those kind of things. So let me do this gold one in statement. Right, so it won't really change anything here, but if you go through the slides, you'll see these colors start to look a little bit different. Okay, I'm actually going to go to an outside resource now because I want to put a video in here. So this is good for you because you could record your own video, or you could find a video in another place, download it, and then make that part of your video presentation. So I'm going to go back here to Open Creative Resources, and I'm going to click on Videos, and I'm going to use this one called Pexels. And it's free stock videos that you can use for a variety of things. So I'm going to find one, if I can find one with cats in it. Okay, so here's some cat videos. Okay, here's a funny video of cats, right? Free to use. So I'm going to download this. Click Free Download. And that video has downloaded right here. So I'm going to go back to Spark. So if you have videos on your computer, they don't have stock videos in Spark, but like, let's say you went to webcamera.io and recorded a video of yourself talking, and then download it to your computer, you can upload it to your Spark video. Or if you found a nice stock video like I just did there, you can download that to your computer and upload it to your Spark video. So I'm going to add a new page here. And this one's just going to be a video, so I'm going to click Video. And then I got to find that video I just downloaded, which is called Video of Funny Cat. Give me a moment. Okay, I have found Video of Funny Cat. I'm going to open that. And it will pop that into my Spark video. So I can use a segment of this, or I can use as much of it as I want. So that's a 23-second video. I won't use the whole thing. Just use this 10-second clip of it. Test out that clip. I'm going to click here. You can see the cat move. It's still kind of processing, so sometimes it can be kind of clunky, but this will look fine in our finished project. So after I have the video, the piece of that video I want to keep, I'm going to click save. And this can take a second depending on the size of the video that you clip that to keep, but what it does is just kind of taking out that small part of the video that you want to use and removing it from that big giant video file, and it's only going to upload that part to your Spark video project. So you might have to give it a second to complete that process. So now you'll see on slide 4 there, I have a video of a cat. And the cool thing about this is you can still put something like text. LOL. I know, really good. It's very clever. Okay. Next, so there's a variety of things you can do here. Let me show you. Maybe I can make this work. Recording a video. So I use a website called to record videos. I use HTML5 camera, just camrecorder.com. It's a really easy way in your browser to just record a short video. I need to give okay, it's allowed. Let's reload this. I might have to pick my other camera since I'm using this first one already. It's gonna work. Come on. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that one doesn't work. This one should work. Okay, well it's recording, but it doesn't, you can't seem to see me. Okay. Let me try another thing. I'll throw that one away. We're going to go to webcamera.io. Hopefully I have a little more luck with this one. So this is another in-browser webcam recorder. This one's actually really useful because it will record video, but it will also take still pictures. So if you need whatever you're trying to do with it. I am going to there's something up. I got 2 webcams recorded, and since I'm using one to record right now, the audio works, but you get the idea. So what you would do with this is you'd record yourself with one of these apps. You download that to your computer, and then save. Okay, so I just saved that video I just recorded, and then I go back to Spark, and then on your slide that you're editing for your video, you'll just upload that video that you recorded. So you could, like, for instance, have every slide be like a scene of you talking about something, or you could have recorded a different scene of a movie, or something like that. It's an interesting way to tell stories that way. Okay, so that's what we do with videos. Let's talk about kind of tying a bow on this whole thing here. So another thing that we'll want to think about is music. So you can actually download music and upload your own. It's much easier just to use the music that's on here. So I'm going to click music, and then you have all of these different genres of music that you can kind of preview on here. And these will just play during your video. Okay, so I'm going to click that one. That's going to be my video that I'm going with. And I'm almost ready to play my video, but I want to do one more thing first. So on these slides, and you click on them, they have a little microphone button down here on the front. So if you click and hold that microphone button down, it will turn your microphone on, and it will record narration. So even if you don't want to record yourself and put yourself on there, you can have your voice over the still pictures or the icons or those stock videos that you put in there. So I'll just show you how this works. Hello, and welcome to my information about cats. Okay, so I can test that out and see how it went. Hello, and welcome to my... I don't like how I said information. I'm going to do that again. Hello, and welcome to Mr. Howard's report about cats. Let's learn all about them. Okay, so let's listen to that one. Hello, and welcome to Mr. Howard's report about cats. Let's learn all about them. Good, good. Okay, so I can do that for every slide. Wow, you guys, look at this silly orange cat. Oh no, this cat's way too intense for me. LOL, look at this silly cat licking all over himself. Ha ha. Okay, so what I've done now is I have put video, still images, text, narration. I've done all that in just a matter of minutes. But if I want to see what that looks like all together, I'm going to click this play button down here at the beginning. So let's do that. This is my whole video. Hello and welcome to Mr. Howard's report about cats. Let's learn all about them. Wow, you guys, look at this silly orange cat. Oh no, this cat's way too intense for me. LOL, look at this silly cat licking all. Ha ha. Okay, and you know, that's pretty much it. From there, you would just have to either download it or share it. You can always come back to it and edit it later. But like if I just wanted to turn this in and I'm a student, I just can click share. Same thing we did before on the posts and the pages. We just pick a category, create a link, and then it takes a little bit longer for videos because it's going to process that video. But once that part's done, you just copy that link. You can post it. See here, it's working on it, but you'll just take that link and you can post it to your Google Classroom. You can send it an email. It's super easy to share that out with somebody as soon as you're done. You can see you could go from starting a video project to having it turned in, and you could have that done in a matter of minutes. That's easily something that can be done in one class period. All right, so as this link wraps up, it'll give you some helpful information about sharing your things. But yeah, you'll see you have all these options for sharing, and one of them is even directly to Google Classroom. So like if you want to create a video and put it in your classroom, or if you want students to create videos and then upload them directly to the classroom, you have options of doing that both ways. Again, you'll just copy this link, go to a new tab, paste it, we hit enter, and then our video will play as soon as it's done processing, which this one should be. There it goes. Hello and welcome to Mr. And here's my cool report on cats you can watch. Now, if you have other designs on sharing this video, you don't necessarily want to do it this way. Maybe you want to save it so you have a copy or put it in your Google Drive or whatever. You can also download your video, and this takes a little bit more time because it does have to render all the parts of that video together. So the more stuff you have on there, especially if you have recorded videos and put those in there together, that's just going to take more and more time to wrap all those pieces up to turn them into their own video project, which I'm not actually going to let this finish because it's going to, well, maybe it will finish here, so I'll let it go. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So videos, I think, are, if you ask me, the easiest way to get a video project done on a Chromebook in a class period, it's this. Just make sure you get your kids signed into those enterprise accounts, and they have access to all those resources, and they can start cranking out videos as soon as you have them logged in. Very easy to start and get finished, and there's not a whole lot of technical skill required once you show those easy basics. So, my friends, that is going to do it for today's session. Hopefully you learned a little bit about how to spark creativity with Adobe Spark. Today we covered using Spark posts for something you might want to do with social media. We talked about making websites with Spark, so maybe you want to do a newsletter, or you want students to be able to do reports or something like that. That's a really great visual way to do that. And then finally we talked about Adobe Spark Video, and that's just a slides-based video editor that gives you a lot of flexibility in the ways that you want to start putting those resources together, whether it's videos that you've already recorded, videos from places you've downloaded, stock videos, things like that, or if you just want to stick to still images and use narration and background music, you can also do that. So hopefully this was helpful for you. And of course, if you have any questions after seeing this, you can reach back out to me, and I will totally help you get started with this to start doing some cool projects in your classroom. But before we get there, what I need for you to do is to evaluate this session. So our last link on here says FPS teachers, please evaluate today's session. That's going to be a link where you can tell me if I did a good job or if I was rotten at it. To be honest, it helps me either way. So thank you in advance for getting that done. And if you do watch this later, you will need to submit this form to receive an hour of, or pardon me, you need to submit the form for an hour of Tech PD credit either way. So since we start about 15, a quarter till, and we end at 30 minutes, so it's a 45-minute session, I expect you to take the next 15 minutes so you can show me something that you've done with this and submit it with that form, and that's how you're going to get your credit for today's session. All right, guys, that bell is telling me it's time to go, so I want to thank all of you guys for watching, and we will see you next week. We are going to be talking about sketchnoting, and if you don't know anything about sketchnoting, it's not really a technology-based strategy, but it's still a lot of fun, and I like to do it. And since we're wrapping up the end of the school year, it seems like a nice, convenient, fun little thing to do that is kind of light, and hopefully we can just have a little bit of fun with it. But yeah, we'll be doing that next week. Let me go to my archive page, and I'll tell you the date specifically because I can't remember which day it's on. It's going to be on the 7th, so 5 days from today, on Tuesday, we will be doing that. Hopefully you can join us. All right, friends. For real, that's going to do it for today's session. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week for sketchnoting.